Dooby dooby doo, dooby dooby doo wah, dooby dooby doo wah. Hello everyone, welcome back to Moonfire Studios. This is Cindy. Today I'm going to be hopefully making a card. It's in my brain, so I'm hoping to get it out. Today I'm going to be using the Drop of Sunshine freebie papers on the Drop of Inspiration group. These are designed, and the group is by Marta Debicka from Drop of Sunshine. So I highly encourage you to go check out the Facebook group and see what goodies are available on there. And she also has a store and things like that, so I will leave all of her information in the description box below. But these are so beautiful, and they're really feminine and delicate, and I love how they are. And she's got a full background sheet. So those of us that do journals and things like that, it would make a really lovely page. And then, or a backing to a scrapbook page. And then she's got the 8x8, I believe. 7.5. Mine came out 7.5, a little over 7.5 by 7.5. Yeah. Because I have US measurements on my printer, and you are able to enlarge and shrink her designs, and there's no distortion in them that I have had. And she's got some little sentiment with love and some little extras that you can fussy cut out. For my card, or you can also be, in my case, a card or a journal insert. I have printed on copy paper, and this one is, just so you know, this is the lighter weight paper that I print on through my printer. I have a Xerox laser. So this is 32 pound, and it's 98% bright white. It's just like that before printing on. Okay, so I have printed 2, and I made them double-sided. Because I'm also going to be using some nestables from Creative Craft Products. And if you go on Marta's channel, she has a YouTube channel, and also on her Facebook group, she has a link to where she is affiliated with them. So she gets a small commission, but it does not transfer over to you. You get the same savings that everyone else does. They're available from CraftStash, and there's the UK, and they're also available in US. I'm in US, just so you know. I'm using the Torn Edge Nestables for the nested hearts, and I'm using the largest one for the base, and also for the front of my card. It's a little bit, might be a little bit too big, because I just printed them out. I didn't measure anything. It's just at the line, hopefully, but I will be inking the edges, so that does not bother me. I'm using the Harmony Spectrum Noir Quick Dry die in crushed velvet to go along with the color scheme that she has there. So the torn edge ones, I'm using the largest one and the smallest one to die cut around the heart. Yeah, I could fussy cut it, but I like so far I like the white around it, and I will be inking it, so it'll be mostly gone anyway. So I'll be using those. And then I have also printed on some vellum, and I've printed out 2 of the sheets with the sentiment on it. There, so you can see it a little more clearly. There's that one, and then I printed out one with the background on it, and this is laser heat proof vellum by Strathmore. I believe I got it on Amazon. So for these, I will be using a lot of the Nestables hearts, and the way that I found the size that I want to use is I took the large heart that's going to be my base, and I laid it down, and I took what the sizing that I wanted to be, the largest sizing of the straight heart, and I put it up against the side of the torn edge to see how much room I would have and the height that I wanted this to be, because you don't want it to be too tall to where it goes over the top. It will stick out funny and it won't work. And then I just took every single heart in the nesting from then on out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have all but 5 of the larger hearts in there. So I'm going to go die cut these out, and I'll be right back after a while. Alright, everything is die cut out. Here are my 2 pieces for the card base. And here's all my vellum pieces. And then here are my 2 extra hearts. I haven't figured out what I want to do with these yet, but I cut them out anyway. So now I'm just going to ink the edges. Okay, just finishing up the vellum. There we go. And how are you guys all doing today? I hope everyone is good. Anyone have any cool plans for Valentine's Day? My daughter is taking her boyfriend out to Ohio Caverns, so that should be fun. I get to play chauffeur, which I don't usually mind. Plus I get to walk around the gift shop. They have really, really cool crystal-y stuffs. Okie dokie. So, and if you remember, I had a little bit of white right here on this heart, but now you can't tell because it's all inked up. So yeah. And what I'm going to do, these ones are both the double-sided with the full page background. So what I am going to do is I'm going to cut the top one in half so that it opens as a gatefold. just decide which one I want for the top. That one's pretty, but I think I'll use it. Well, let me see now. I was going to have these on this side, and if I have those hearts, they'd have to be on this side. I think that side will be alright. So yeah, this will be the bottom. Okay, and then this will be the top. There we go. And now to ink the insides, where I cut it in half. Okay, now what I'm going to do is have this like this, and then I think I shall have, that will be an opening. I think I may use a closure that I used on a very current previous gatefold folio that I made. Where this just slides in between. I will leave the closure until after, but what I want to do with the front openings is I want it to open like that. What I will do is make a teeny tiny little, ooh, not with a pen, tiny little mark at the notch. So I will use a ruler so I can see exactly where I want it to go. Make one to match as best as possible on the other side. Okay, and then what I am going to do is I am going to stitch on the folds. You do not have to. I'm just doing it for visual appeal for myself. But if you stitch in the crease, and then it will open like so. So at the same time, I am going to make a score line on each one of the hearts, and I'm going to use a scoreboard just because it's vellum. It helps if you push it in to make a little bit of a channel. You do not have to do that. Just be mindful not to use a very sharp bone folder. If all you have are sharp bone folders, use the back end of a butter knife, and that will make it so you do not go through the vellum. I'm applying very tiny amount of pressure. Not really any pressure, just sort of running it along. And then I'm putting a crease, and I'm going to put one in every single heart. Maybe not the tiny one yet. I haven't decided that part. But I'm going to keep these all centered as best as possible, and then I'm going to run a stitching line all the way up the center. So I'll go do that, and then I shall return. So there was a change of plans all around. I didn't have any pink or purple sewing machine thread, but I did have some lavender colored linen thread that I use for bookbinding and stuff like that, and accents that goes really, really well with the ink that I use to edge it with, and the coloring in her papers. So I hope that comes across. So what I did was I just lined up my front and back pieces so that everything comes out evenly, and then I will punch holes before I stitch. It helps to make sure that your holes are where you want them and you don't accidentally break your paper on the back side. Okay, so I did not have any purple or pink or corresponding color thread from my sewing machine that I thought would go well with this. So what I'm doing is I have some lightly waxed linen thread in the same purple tone as the paper and the ink that I used. So I'm going to take that and just kind of hand stitch longer stitches along here. And I have a 0 centering ruler, which I really love, and it comes in handy a lot. It has 0 in the center of the ruler and goes out 6 inches from either end. And then you can see it's got the 0, 1, 2, 3 through 12 right underneath it. And then it has spacing lines and some guidelines to create level lines. And then it's got holes every 1/2 inch. So this comes in handy. I use this all the time for bookbinding and all kinds of things. So what I'm going to do is, and you want to have something underneath your papers so that your hole punch or whatever you're using, pokey tool, needle, what have you, doesn't hit the hard surface and dent the tip of your pokey tool. So, and I am using something with a point to create my holes versus the rounded needle of one of my bookbinding needles that's large and has a large enough eye to put my thread through. If you can use this, but you have to go a lot slower and be very careful. Otherwise, the back side of it can push out. So use something nice and sharp. Since I don't want to create an actual line on there, I'm just putting it up against the edge of the ruler, and I'm seeing how I want my holes to go, and I'm lining up this hole with the actual cut edge of the paper because I'm going to go in right here and make a little hole. And I think I'm going to do every 1/2 inch. And you certainly could be, very whimsy, and you can do zigzags, you can do back stitches, you can put little, French knots every so often. It is entirely up to you. I am just doing a straight stitch because that's what I want to do on this project. And you don't even have to be even all the way across. I just chose to do so because this way was easier for me, and I didn't want to take away from the pattern that's already on the paper. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to make a quilter's knot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to face the ends of the thread and the needle. I'm going to hold the end of the thread up against the needle, wrap it around to, this is pretty thick, so I'm going to wrap it around 3 times and then pull it all the way down through. And then you will have a really nice big knot. Okay, so what I am going to do, do I want my knots up top or on the bottom? Let's see. I'm going to put it in the back. So I'm going to go up through the back, down the next hole, I'm going to leave this one at the end because it's not too far out of line, and it helps to keep this top part down when it's unfolded. You certainly could glue this together, but I like the dimension of it, so I'm going to leave mine unglued. For this part right here, I'm going to go in between. I'm going to split my thread. I do not think you'll be able to see that, but I'm going to split my thread and pull this through it underneath my knot. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide right on over to this one and go straight up that hole. Okay, and then I'm just going to go all the way down and back up again. And there is a little notch right here, just like the other side. So I am going to wrap it around the edge there for stability and go back through that hole. It also helps me to make sure this doesn't pop up weird when I open it. There we go. And then I'm just going to go underneath this one that I brought over and back through. And I'll do that a couple times to create a knot that I like. Okay, and then just snip it kind of close. And there we go. I'm just kind of creasing over top of the stitches. So there's a lovely little fold. Ta-da! And how do I want to make a closure? Golly. Okay, if we put you guys like that, then I can slide that in between. Slide you out. And slide you in. Okay, I like that on there, so figure out where I want this heart to be, and I like right about there. Take my Fabri-Tac and put it on that side. Make sure none, okay. And then when I open it, that's a kind of cute. You can have it like that so that still sits in there, but you've got that neat double heart look, and that's kind of cute that way. Okay, so just be careful. You do not want to put glue on the entire thing, especially not anything that's going to touch this other heart, because this piece has to go in between these pieces. And if you want to, you can slide a piece in between so that any extra glue, if it oozes out, if you put too much or shimmied it around wrong, it will go on this piece, and then you can just slide it right out. And it will be puffed up, because I'm going to put quite a lot of vellum layers in here. Hopefully this will still work well with that. I think it will. If not, we will rig something else up. But I did change my mind on all the vellum hearts. I did not sew them together because I thought it would be really cool if, instead of being this way, when you open it up, although that's really kind of cute, isn't it? Stinking shiny baboons. Okay, well, see, I thought it'd be cute to put them like this. Oh, maybe I can do both. Have one like that on that side and one like this on this side. Oh, great. Okay, so let's do one, two, three, four, five. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, this piece is too big for that side. Now that's kind of cute, and it's full of hearts. Okay. Okay, we want to try to not pierce where the edges are, but more over top of them. I'm going to shift the centering ruler slightly in between things. Actually, I'm just going to go alongside of it again, and we'll put One there. One there. I'm going over. The next one should be in this middle section here, but this is already secured underneath this little heart. So I'm going over the top of it so as to not tear the edge of it. Alright, this is the waxed linen thread, and it's only semi-waxed, so you won't get a bunch of white goopy bits. I leave enough for a knot, and then I go once plus a couple inches for the length, and since I'm going back down, I go twice, and then I add an extra couple inches in case I need to do something different or make a better, different type of knot. Okay, and if you need to pull your thread tight, pull it in line with your stitching. Don't pull up, don't pull backwards or side to side. Pull in line with your stitching so that it all lays flat and doesn't break anything of what you're working on. Okay, and again, snip it a little close. I think I will just attach these two and then curl these and let them just kind of do their own thing and be free. Cool. And then, ta-da! We will glue in the edge. And I'm putting it next to the crease, but not quite up against it, so that it gives not only this room to fold, but this room to spring out. For a little bit, kind of shimmy it around a little so that the glue goes around the fibers of the thread, and it helps to seat it a little more. So I'm just going to kind of do this for a few seconds to a minute, so I ensure it has a nice, good, strong bond. Okay, I let it dry nicely. So you fold it over, close it up, and of course that doesn't close all the way or stay closed. I could have put magnets in here, but I guess I still can. I just didn't want to, I don't know, I didn't want it to show weird and have this, I will think on the closure while I'm doing the inside. But you open it up. Okay, this heart thing, this heart doesn't want to go over. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on this one. Stick it onto that page. While that's drying, I'm going to attach these guys together to make a little whatever this thingy is called. I have a little dotty tape runner here, so I'm going to just kind of put a little line in the middle of that. Stick that to that, and in the middle of the other side. And stick that to that. And on that side, and stick that down there, and then the middle of this side, and you can see I have a nice little gap there, and then close that over and press it down, and then when you open it, my little separator piece here, stick you there. Make sure that's where I want to come out at. Yep. Put a little clippy bit there so that it doesn't move. Okay. And while that's doing that, we will attach this side. And I think I'm just going to straight glue it down. And we'll put another little clip here to secure that. Make sure they line up how I want them to. Yep. We have this little guy, which kind of looks really cute in there. I think I'll just cut this one straight out and ink it and put it right there. Yes, that will do nicely. And since there's a lot of space inside of there, I'm going to kind of puff it up a little bit. Okay, I've taken the scrap of the thread that I used for sewing, and I made what I hope is a cute little bow. I just sort of wrapped it around back and forth, and I'm going to put it right about here on this little heart cluster. And just put a little dot of glue there and stick it on. And I'm going to take one of these little pearly bits. I think I'll take the big one. And stick that on there. Okay, now we'll put this one up here, and I'm just going to put a blob underneath it and plop it on there. I'm not pressing hard, I'm just tapping it to make sure it seals where I want it to. I really miss my Sizzix glue gun, but I am a killer of glue guns. So, since it's heat-resistant vellum, I'm able to use my glue gun on it without it crinkling or deforming. Just going to put that like that. Take this clip off, make sure that's nice and dry and attached. Okay, and then trial. It is really puffy. I don't know, I kind of like it puffy, and I kind of like it with the little string on it. Mine is going to go in a journal though, so it's going to get compressed in it. So if you wanted to, you could put a hefty book over top of it, and that will help keep it like this, and prevent it from puffing up when it's folded. And then you can leave it open and put some cute little silk flowers in there, or make some cute little hearts on sticks and stick those in there. That's a neat idea too. So it doesn't always have to be like perfectly flat. You can do all kinds of different things with stuff. Okay, so from this, the freebies on Drop of Inspiration, which is from Drop of Sunshine, Marta Debicka's Facebook group, we have made a Valentine. There's the back. And it is hearts galore. Very dimensional. And my idea was pretty close. I did have some changes along the way, and a little bit of oopsie, but I like how it turned out. I think it's pretty cool. So you guys tell me what you think, and I would love to hear what you would do differently, what you would add on or take away. And would you like to give or get this from someone special in your life? So there you have it. Please give us a subscribe, a thumbs up, and a comment about what you thought, and maybe something to do in the near future if you'd like to see something or learn about a technique together or what have you. So thank you everyone who watches, new and old, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much. Oh, don't forget to check moonfirestudios.shop to see if any of the goodies that we create together get put on there. Some go to the shop, some go to Happy Meal, some will be giveaways, and yeah. So thanks very much everyone. Take care, happy crafting, bye-bye. Doobie doobie